Line 22, 7B141, Higgs particle decays, acute angle 45 degrees, 4 muons, Qubits formula Wow Seti. There's the alien radio signal. Higgs boson formula, muon decays into 4 particles, acute angles, Euclidean geometry, and parallel postulate, how to generate a Higgs particle and electric field found in line 22 Wow data. So line 22, 7B140, Higgs particle W plus Z, bosons, quarks, Protons, atom cloud formula Wow Seti. Quote and diagram from blog. So this talks about apparent mass, particle, and Higgs field. And then it shows Higgs particle decaying into 4 muons in the Atlas detector. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller so you can actually see it better. Okay? My thoughts. Looking at the direction of the 4 muons, okay? See the 4 lines, the red lines? That's what I'm talking about, those 4 directions there. Okay, so looking at the direction of the 4 muons, we have north-northwest, west-south, and south-southeast. So the north-northwest and south-southeast signals are directly opposite. That would be these two here. They're in direct opposite line if you line them up. Where the west and the south form a triangular shape. These ones too. That creates some sort of angle, right? That's what we're getting at, the angles here. Okay, so noting the size between the two, they form 2 slices of pi each, having the same angle of degrees. So if you measure these 2 here and these 2 here, there's an angle there, and then there's the same amount of degrees based on what this picture looks like. Okay? Interesting that they keep a math equation of sorts as they decay. So I looked up angles to see just what angle that would be, and that would be the 45-degree angle is the one that looks closest to the shape of the degrees in between the 2 signals. So acute angles. So that's from www.themathleague.com. So it looks like they decay at a 45-degree angle. A quote diagram from Wiki, Euclidean geometry. There's the 45-degree angle. Okay, so I looked up Euclidean geometry for 45-degree angle. Now you see you got A and B here, and then there's the 45-degree angle there, right? The parallel postulate, that's what it's called. Euclidean geometry. It says if 2 lines intersect a third in such a way that the sum of the inner angles on one side is less than the 2 right angles, then the 2 lines inevitably must intersect each other on that side if extended far enough. Okay. My thoughts and formula of ideas. The Higgs boson particle decays, parallel postulate, 2 lines intersect, a third in such a way sum of inner angles on one side is less than 2 right angles, because to me this looks like a 45-degree angle and I found it in Euclidean elements. Then the 2 lines must intersect each other or form a jet stream from them. Good idea to use with a crossbeam for diffracting lasers by mirrors. You would set the mirrors up at the different angles to generate the Higgs particle, or the Higgs electric field energies to create a proton ring, jet stream of hadrons, muons, protons, and electrons from your CERN experiments. Quote diagram from a blog. So here's a 360 degrees full circle. A full circle is 360 degrees, half a circle is 180 degrees, called a straight angle. Quarter of a circle is 90 degrees, called a right angle. Mathis, www.mathisfun.com. Okay, so I was looking at the Mayan charts, and they are similar to this degrees and zodiac charts. They all have a sort of symbolism to me, but not sure what it all means. So I'm going to Google the keyword parallel postulate. Quote and diagram are from blogs. Parallel postulate. Given a line and a point not on that line, there exists a unique line through the point parallel to the given line. The parallel postulate is what sets Euclidean geometry apart from non-Euclidean geometry. So take a look at this. When you look at this diagram, think of diffraction. Because when you diffract your light, you want it to go off at all these different angles, right? Now these angles wouldn't be 45 degrees. They're probably the ones that are they look like 7-degree angles, actually. They're 7-degree angles. Hey, let's put that down. Okay, my thoughts. Based on diagram. E looks like 7 degrees. Angles. Yeah. Okay, let's just go back up here, sorry. So there are an infinite number of lines that pass through a point E, but only the red lines run parallel into line CD, which is this one here, the red line. Any other line through E will eventually intersect line CD. So they eventually will collide with each other. So that's www.wyzant.com. That's wyzant.com. Okay. So my thoughts. Based on the diagram, E looks like 7-degree angles from a diffracting of laser beams idea from CD there. Okay. So you'd have to do the midpoint at E. Midpoint E, and then you would have your mirrors to deflect beams like CD. So all lines intersect and collide with a mixture of particles inside of them. So that would be the liquid argon gas, which would travels along visible light. Visible light, attracting the proton energy particles to spin around line CD. That'd be linear algorithms. You use a linear algorithm to get the spin around this line. Okay. So in the diagram above, you can see the diffraction or red and blue visible light from the Euclidean geometry in Figure E. So when I look at this, I see red lights, red visible light and blue visible lights. And we talked about that earlier in line 22. There's a whole set of formulas how to create this idea. Okay. Okay, cross beams pass through point E, but only the red line runs parallel to line CD. Any other line through E will eventually intersect line CD. Use this to do the algorithms of light diffraction with the crystals and mirrors to generate the Higgs boson particles with mass, and create the Higgs electric field between the two super lattices, and we have electron holes, creating hyperbole in between them, in between the crystals, laser beam structures given in the formulas found in lines 1 to 22 of the WOW data, cross-reference at line 27. Data continues in the next video. Thanks for watching.